Here's a question I've been asking myself lately. When I was a kid, I had dreams. I had things I wanted to do with my life, places I wanted to go, experiences I wanted to have. Then at 9 years old, I was taken away in handcuffs and put into the system for 9 years. By the time I came home, it felt like I was still 9 years old mentally, even though I was much older. After that, I was put into school, but I don't feel like I was really educated. A lot of the time, it felt like they just put me in a room and told me to entertain myself. 4 years of that left me feeling like I hadn't learned much of anything. I think I was around 21 when I finally graduated. Looking back, the one thing I truly learned was how to read. For most of my life, I thought about what I wanted to do and what I wanted to become. Eventually, I became old enough and aware enough to understand the difference between what I wanted to do and what I realistically could do. What I can do is sit at my computer and play video games. What I want to do. That's the problem. I honestly don't know anymore. There isn't much in this world that brings me joy. Baby Bookworm does, but even that comes with frustrations because so much of it depends on AI. I can't sing the songs myself. I have trouble pronouncing words properly because I don't have teeth, and I don't want new teeth. I've spent most of my life dealing with mouth pain, and I don't want to spend the rest of it going through more. People tell me they understand pain, but that often makes me angry because they don't. I've lived with pain every single day of my life. From the moment I wake up until the moment I fall asleep, pain is there. Most people simply cannot relate to that experience. I've spent years trying to figure out what I want from life. At one point, I thought about taking a cruise, but then I remembered a dream I had years ago where I died on a sinking cruise ship, trapped in my room as the water rose around me. It felt so real that I still remember it vividly. Another dream involved a clown-like president eliminating air traffic control, followed by a mid-air plane collision. Years later, when I started seeing stories about close calls between aircraft, it brought that dream back to mind. The third dream was so ridiculous that I hardly think about it. In it, I jumped out of an airplane and forgot to put on a parachute. Considering I have no intention of jumping out of a plane, that one seems unlikely. The point is, I keep trying to find something I truly want to experience, and I come up empty. I've seen the Grand Canyon. My sister thought it was incredible. I looked at it and thought, well, that's a big hole in the ground. I never want to go to another rodeo. I never want to go to another carnival. I never want to go to another fairground. I never want to ride another roller coaster. I don't enjoy swimming. I don't enjoy crowds. I don't enjoy concerts unless somehow I was the only person there besides the band. I've never been much of a people person. Every friend I ever made eventually moved on. Once they outgrew me, they disappeared, and I was left alone again. After enough years of that, you start asking yourself why you should keep trying. I can't get married because of how disability benefits work. Even if a spouse had little or no income, the financial complications make it risky. I could technically have a girlfriend, but I don't really care about sex. I've never found it particularly appealing. I don't feel like I'm missing anything there. I learned how to cook from my mom and my grandmother, and I'm grateful for that. At least I can take care of myself in that regard. Most of my family never learned how to use seasoning properly, but thankfully I picked that up. Still, when I think about what I want to do, I draw a blank. People talk about traveling the world. Why? If I want to see a castle, I can pull up hundreds of pictures and videos online. I can take a virtual tour from my computer chair. There are very few places I feel a strong desire to visit. There are no celebrities I care about meeting. Most of the actors I admired are gone, retired, or no longer making the kinds of movies I enjoyed. Music doesn't interest me the way it used to either. So much of modern music seems centered around money, sex, or drugs. That's one reason I started writing my own songs. At least then I can write about things that actually matter to me. I'd love to own a car someday. I know how to drive. My Uncle Louis taught me, and my grandmother taught me how to drive a stick shift when I was very young. But owning a vehicle and legally driving it are two different things. I also carry some bitterness over family heirlooms. Both of my grandmothers wanted me to have things that reminded me of them. In both cases, someone else in the family either sold the item or took it before I ever got it. The one exception was my grandma Betty. She gave me something while she was still alive because she knew that if she waited, I might never receive it. I still have it today, and it means a great deal to me. So I keep coming back to the same question: what do I actually want to do with the rest of my life? The only answer I can consistently come up with is this: I'd like to see Star Citizen become the game we were promised all those years ago. I'd like to play the finished version someday. Beyond that, there aren't many movies I'm excited about. Most seem like remakes of things I already watched growing up. Many modern versions feel watered down compared to the originals. Everything seems recycled. Everything feels familiar. Nothing feels new. Maybe that's why I struggle to find excitement in anything anymore. At this point, I mostly want a simple life. I want to play my games, watch my anime, eat food I enjoy, stay on the medications that actually help me, and avoid unnecessary pain. What I don't understand is why people think that's such a terrible thing. Why is it wrong to be content with a quiet life? Why is it wrong to stop chasing dreams that no longer mean anything to you? I genuinely don't know. What I do know is that I've spent a lot of time thinking about what I want from this world. And after all these years, I still don't have an answer. Maybe that's the real question I've been trying to solve all along. Thank you for listening and joining me on this journey of self-discovery. I truly appreciate your support, your subscriptions, and everyone who takes the time to listen to my music. If you'd like to know more about me, my creative projects, or the world of Baby Bookworm, feel free to leave a comment below. I read every comment and will do my best to respond whenever I can. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss future Baby Bookworm content. Thank you again for your support, and have a wonderful day.